So Oblivion is based on a short story that you wrote. How did the movie come together?
Yeah, well it did. About 8 years ago I wrote a short story. We developed it as an illustrated novel for a couple of years. I went off to shoot another big movie, and then when I came back I had images, I had a fleshed out story, and took it around town showing it to various studios, and one day I got a call from Tom Cruise that he heard what I was working on. I pitched him the story in its entirety, and he was, I think, intrigued right from the start. I feel very lucky to have him in this film.
Tom Cruise leads quite an extraordinary cast that you've assembled.
Yes, I've got Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman, together for the first time, which I know they were both excited about, and I feel, very honored to have them together on screen. And then a couple of newcomers with Andrea Riseborough, Olga Kurilenko, and to see some up-and-comers working with some pros. The cast was just worked together spectacularly.
Cruise plays Jack Harper, the lead of the story. Who is this man?
Jack Harper is he's a repairman. He's basically a blue-collar worker. His job is to fix drones during the day, all in support of a massive effort to gather up Earth's resources and get ready to leave for Titan. Earth has been destroyed in a massive war, and Jack is essentially the last man on Earth left to say goodbye. Despite this, he has a connection to the world below that he can't quite explain. There's something in these ruins of old Earth that he feels a connection to. And one day a mysterious traveler crash lands on Earth, and her arrival kind of starts off an incredible journey for him. And we get to see him become the man he was always meant to be.
That mysterious woman is Julia, played by Olga Kurilenko.
Yes.
How does his encounter with her help him piece together who he really is?
Well, she brings to light some interesting facts. She gives him some answers to some questions he has. She goes with him on a journey to the surface where they uncover some secrets. These are all things that you'll have to see in the movie to see how it plays out. But there's a lot of twists and turns.
What was Cruise like to work with?
It was an incredible experience. I mean, he's worked with so many heroes of mine and so many fantastic directors like Stanley Kubrick and Ridley Scott and Michael Mann, guys I look up to. So I learned a tremendous amount from him and through him from the guys he's worked with in the past. I was struck by just how hard of a work he is, how dedicated he is, how enthusiastic he is about the movie-making process. He takes nothing for granted. He inspires the crew to do their best work. So I had an amazing experience. I feel spoiled now after working with him.
There's no bigger action star than Tom Cruise. And he's also known for doing his own stunts, is that true?
That's true. He, in our film, like most other films I think he works on, he did everything. And that gives, it gives those scenes an authenticity that you just can't fake. He takes some bumps and bruises along the way, but all in the service of making the best film and delivering the best experience, he can.
And he also flies that bubble ship that you have behind you.
Yeah.
What can you say about that?
Well, Tom's a real pilot, so I think he was, that's another aspect of the film he really enjoyed. He and I are both kind of gearheads, so, who else to fly a machine like that but Tom Cruise, He actually got to consult on the position of the controls, and we based it on real aircraft designs. So it was fun. Those scenes, we had a lot of fun shooting that stuff.
Visually, the film is spectacular. How would you describe the look of Oblivion?
Well, I would call it a daylight science fiction film. It's an interesting combination of high tech, like you're seeing behind me, with the kind of grittiness of real-world locations. We shot on location in Iceland in some really spectacular locations, the tops of mountains, black sand deserts. We even went underground in some sequences. So that juxtaposition of technology and kind of grounded earthiness, I think, is what makes the film look different.